New explosive evidence connecting the corrupt Biden family to Communist Party of China. That's right. Emails from 2017 between Hunter Biden and the chairman of a now bankrupt Chinese energy firm show the president-elect's son lobbied the executive to quickly wire him $10 million to help establish and fund his failed business venture with the company. This also comes as the intelligence community's report on interference in the 2020 election has been delayed because of a dispute over China's involvement. That's according to that assessment. So what does this all mean for the incoming administration? Let's bring in host of America First and a member of President Trump's National Security Education Board, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Dr. G, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Buck. Hang on, why are we talking about this? I mean, don't you ask for $10 million from Chinese businessmen every week, Buck?
Yeah, just go through my emails. You'll see all those wire requests for money from Chinese Communist Party connected oligarchs for no apparent service either. You know, I mean, it's at least you and I could say maybe they were trying to buy our amazing radio shows. But with Hunter Biden, we all know he was buying access. Let me have you. Here was last night Senator Ron Johnson, who was making a pretty strong accusation about Hunter here. I want to have you react to it. Play it.
They were investing in influence. And let's face it, we see how long-term thinking, how strategic they are. Look what they did with Congressman Swalwell. I mean, they groomed this guy. They saw, hey, here's an up-and-comer. Let's fund his campaigns. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how far this guy can go. And they get him placed in the Intelligence Committee of the House. And Nancy Pelosi knows about it. So is it that far-fetched to think they were grooming Hunter Biden as well and his connections to his father?
Grooming Hunter as well. What do you make of that, Dr. G?
Let me just do a little check. I don't want to disappoint your viewers or you know anybody who listens to me. Is it hard for you, Buck Sexton, right now, live, to tell the world that you've never had sex with a Chinese intelligence officer? Because I'll go first. Hang on. Let me. I, Sebastian Gorka, former strategist to the President of the United States, host of America First, have never had sex with a Chinese intelligence officer. Eric Swalwell hasn't managed to say that yet. How about you, Buck?
Well, usually because I'm CIA, ex-CIA, I would say I can neither confirm nor deny. But Dr. G, with this one, I will deny it. I will deny that I've ever had relations with a Chinese spy. Eric Swalwell is hoping that this whole story goes away. Doesn't look like it's going to. But for Hunter Biden, the issue of a special counsel seems to be looming. Do you think that that should get done before January 20th?
Well, my answer may shock you, may disappoint you, Buck. I really don't care. Special counsels are a waste of time. Most often they're unguided missiles that end up hitting things they're not intended to do. Robert Mueller was a travesty, spent $40 million, dozens of agents, hundreds of subpoenas and interviews to do what? To try and generate 10 hypothetical theories of obstruction against the president because they couldn't have any evidence of him actually doing anything wrong. What's happened in the last 4 years? What has the DOJ done? I'm sorry, William Barr is a coward, good riddance, and he's a failure. We know we've got the declassified information thanks to Rick Grenell and others. There was an illegal secret tri-service operation against us in the Trump campaign. The CIA under Brennan, the FBI under Comey, the NSA together had Crossfire Hurricane to spy on a presidential campaign and to try and frame individuals like Mike Flynn and Carter Page. Not one person has gone to prison. It is an utter outrage. And now, as of this week, we find out texts from the FBI lovebirds that predate Operation Crossfire Hurricane, where they talk about getting the dirt on Donald Trump. Nothing's happened in 4 years. Another special counsel would be a waste of taxpayer money.
Dr. G, there's also this report that's supposed to be released tomorrow from the intelligence community, a classified intelligence community assessment on foreign interference in the 2020 election. Reporting as of today in the news is that this is delayed. And the sources that are cited in this are saying it's delayed because there are some people in the IC, formerly a place where I worked and a place where you were obviously a senior administration official. There are some people within the IC who don't want the Chinese influence in the 2020 election component to come out. What do you make of that?
Well, isn't it strange how for 4 years we were told Russia, 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 President Trump is illegitimate, that election was stolen by $100,000 worth of Facebook ads. But now we can't discuss any of that. This was the virginal election of all virginal elections. And don't mention China. Don't mention Hunter Biden's 3 laptops. Just sweep it under the carpet and let a compromised, cognitively challenged individual who's been a machine politician for 47 years, whose son had a $1.4 billion deal with the Communist Bank of China, let Joe Biden become president. This tells you just how deep and broad the swamp is. And I'm sending a message right now as a former deputy to the president, currently as a presidential appointee in the Defense Department. Radcliffe, DNI Radcliffe, you know what to do. Keep your oath to the American Constitution to fight all enemies, foreign and domestic.
What would you like to see DNI Radcliffe in these final weeks here of his tenure? What should he do? Should there be massive declassification around Russia collusion, around some of these other critical areas where we've seen deep state, actual collusion by the deep state against the Trump administration? I mean, if DNI Radcliffe was asking you to advise him on this, what would you tell him to do?
I would declassify everything. Anything that doesn't have a mention of, the keyhole satellite that was used or the encryption technology that was used, because that's just an excuse. There's no methods. There's no sources and methods when you're using Oppo research paid for by Hillary's campaign. Declassified all, not just the FISA warrants, all the background materials, anything to do with Operation Crossfire Hurricane should be declassified. And let's be clear, there's one person who can make that decision, and he's already said he wants to do it, and that's Donald Trump. You know this. You've worked inside the system. You've got the Mosaic clearances, just like I have. This is very, very clear. The classification system for the United States is there for one purpose and one purpose alone: to serve the president as the commander-in-chief so he can keep America safe. He has the authority to declassify all the fake secrets, and he needs to do it, and Radcliffe needs to make it happen.
I told President Trump back in 2018 in the Oval Office to do just that, Dr. G. So I'm with you on this one. I hope that those are actions that are taken here in the weeks ahead. Great to see you as always. Appreciate your time.